Imagine, for just a second, that you are having the worst week of your life. I mean, everything is just chaotic. Everything is falling apart.
Oh, we've all been there.
Right. And the absolute only thing tethering your fragile sanity to the earth is the knowledge that sitting right there in the office fridge is the perfect, meticulously crafted leftover sandwich.
Ah, the coveted leftover sandwich.
Exactly. Now imagine walking into that break room and discovering a colleague didn't just take it, but like ate half of it and threw the rest in the trash.
Oh, that's a crime.
It is. Imagine the feral, unhinged rage that would just bubble up inside you. You wouldn't just be mad. You'd feel like the social contract of civilization had completely collapsed.
Totally. It's a complete violation.
Yeah, and today we're looking at why that exact scenario produced one of the funniest, most enduring moments in television history. And, why our primal relationship with food is actually the secret engine driving the best comedy.
It really is the engine. And what we are digging into today is this fascinating video review that looks at this exact dynamic in one of the biggest pop culture juggernauts of all time.
The sitcom of sitcoms.
Right, the one that ran for 10 seasons, dominated the ratings, and essentially defined a decade. But this specific review we're looking at, it completely ignores the overarching plot lines.
Oh, really? So no, will they, won't they, romance stuff?
Exactly. None of that. No career changes, no apartment swaps. Instead, it isolates a single repetitive variable, which is the food.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, it takes this microscope to a highlight reel of these 6 characters eating. And by doing so, it exposes the mechanical and psychological glue that holds the entire show together.
Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to a brand new deep dive, everyone. We are essentially going to unpack how these 6 friends managed to keep audiences completely captivated for a decade just by, sitting around a table chewing.
It's pretty credible when you think about it.
It really is, because when you actually watch this supercut of dining scenes from the source, it hits you instantly.
Yeah.
The food isn't just a prop.
No, not at all.
It's not set dressing. It's a highly specialized vehicle for character development and bonding. So let's jump straight into the physical setting itself, because it's kind of wild to realize how much of this 10-year narrative unfolds with these people simply anchored to chairs.
Yeah, just holding oversized coffee mugs or, picking at a plate of lasagna.
Exactly. So what's the deal with that?
Well, that physical anchoring is actually a massive screenwriting tool.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the mechanics of television comedy, having characters constantly standing in a room talking to each other, it looks staged.
Oh, sure. It feels artificial, like a play.
Right. But the simple act of putting a reel in front of them completely changes the physics of the scene. It gives the actors what we call business to do with their hands.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so they can aggressively stab a salad when they're annoyed, or they can talk with their mouths full to show a lack of boundaries. They can hide their facial expressions behind a coffee cup.
That's so true. It gives them an excuse to not just stare blankly at each other.
Exactly. This naturalizes the performance, and it allows the exposition to flow without the audience ever really realizing they're being fed plot points.
Okay, I'll push back on that slightly, though. I mean, is it really that calculated on the writer's part?
You think it's accidental?
Oh, maybe. Is it just that these characters live in New York, they're in their 20s and 30s, and hanging out at a coffee shop or a kitchen table is literally just what you do when you're that age?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it might just be the path of least resistance for getting 6 distinct personalities into the same room.
It is definitely the path of least resistance, but the reviewer argues it's used with extreme precision. Think of the table as a pressure cooker.
Okay, a pressure cooker. I like that analogy.
Right. When you put 6 highly distinct, often clashing personalities into a shared space, you need a mechanism to keep them from just, walking away when things get uncomfortable.
Right, because otherwise they'd just storm out of the apartment.
Exactly. The ritual of the meal traps them. They are physically constrained by the chairs and socially constrained by the act of eating together.
Wow, okay. It's almost like the dinner table is a boxing ring for their comedy.
Yes, but a cozy one.
A cozy boxing ring, yeah.
And the video review highlights how this constraint forces eye contact, it forces immediate reaction, and it turns minor personality quirks into boiling, hilarious arguments.
Right, and the source material points out how real their expressions are in these moments. The editing of the video makes this undeniably clear, too. By rolling these clips back to back, you see how the table serves as the stage where their chaotic energy just bounces off each other.
You really do. And you don't feel like you're watching actors hitting marks on a soundstage.
Yeah.
You genuinely feel like you're sitting at the end of the table with them, trying to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, you've got the sarcastic banter flying across the table or completely opposite worldviews colliding over breakfast. It's brilliant.
And that level of immersion is exactly why the show works. It taps into the universal experience of the shared meal. I mean, throughout human history, breaking bread has been the ultimate equalizer.
Absolutely.
But what this sitcom does so brilliantly is use that universal baseline of harmony to suddenly highlight extreme selfishness and boundary issues.
Oh, yes. Which brings us to Joey.
We have to talk about Joey.
We absolutely have to talk about Joey because if the kitchen table is a place of communal sharing, Joey is operating in an entirely different reality.
He really is.
The review spends a significant amount of time breaking down his specific relationship with food. And it all boils down to one of the most famous catchphrases of the 90s, which is, Joey doesn't share food.
It's a fantastic character work. But the video argues it's also a deeply revealing psychological boundary.
Wait, really? Psychological boundary? I always just thought he was really hungry.
Well, he is. But look at the clips. We see him hoarding pizza, physically shielding his plate, and treating a date taking a single French fry as an act of war.
Oh my gosh, the French fries scene. So good.
Right, and on the surface, it's just a funny gag about a guy who likes to eat. But when you look at the broader context of his life, it's actually his only form of control.
Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense because his entire existence is communal.
Exactly.
I mean, he shares an apartment, he shares a friend group, he's a struggling actor, which means his career is constantly at the mercy of casting directors.
Yeah, he has zero power in his professional life.
Right. His daily life is this continuous stream of compromising and accommodating other people. So a plate of food is literally the one finite resource in his life that belongs entirely to him.
Precisely. And the video synthesizes this contrast beautifully. It shows the pure joy of the group eating together, and then hard cuts to the absolute outrage Joey exhibits when someone breaches his personal food sanctuary.
The food sanctuary, I love that.
Yeah, his refusal to share isn't just gluttony. It's a firm, unyielding territorial defense. In a world where his boundaries are constantly fluid, the dinner plate is a fortress.
That is so true. But you know, Joey just gets overly defensive and acts like a petulant child about it. Ross, on the other hand.
Oh, Ross.
Yeah, Ross gives us a masterclass in total psychological collapse. We opened the show talking about that stolen sandwich.
The famous moist maker incident.
Yes, the moist maker. The video review spotlights this, and it is arguably the peak of the entire supercut. Someone at Ross's workplace eats his leftover Thanksgiving sandwich, and he loses his absolute mind.
He literally screams at his boss with a level of rage that echoes through the building. The scene is just a moment of pure, unadulterated madness.
It's incredible, and the reviewer makes a point to note that this is still, decades later, massive meme material on the internet.
Oh, for sure. You see it everywhere.
But I think it's still a meme because it's the dark mirror to the joy of sharing. We all understand the unwritten rules of the office fridge.
It's a fragile ecosystem in there.
Very fragile. It's an environment built on a social contract. You put your lunch in there with the assumption that your coworkers are civilized adults.
Right.
When someone violates that, it doesn't just ruin your lunch, it shatters your illusion of safety. You realize you are working with savages.
Savages. That's exactly how Ross felt.
You're sitting in a boring meeting, surviving solely on the anticipation of that sandwich, and then it's just gone.
And we have to look at why Ross's reaction goes so far beyond normal annoyance. The show's writers use the stolen sandwich as a manifestation of a total loss of control.
Oh, right. Because during that specific era of the show, his life is kind of spiraling, isn't it?
Spiraling is an understatement. His second marriage has just imploded. He's dealing with housing issues. His personal life is a complete mess.
He's basically living out of boxes.
Exactly. And he is a man who likes order and structure, but everything around him is chaotic. That leftover Thanksgiving sandwich was the one variable in his week that he believed he had total unyielding control over.
So the coworker wasn't just stealing calories, they were stealing his agency.
Exactly. They violated his last remaining stronghold. And the comedy works so incredibly well because it taps into a very real, very uncomfortable human frustration.
Yeah, we laugh at Ross screaming about his sandwich because it's absurd.
It's completely absurd.
But we also cringe because on a primal level, we completely relate to the feeling of having something rightfully ours taken away when we are already at our breaking point.
Right. The sheer rage over the stolen food perfectly offsets the warm, fuzzy feelings of their shared meals.
It's brilliant because it shows both ends of the spectrum. Food builds these massive walls for Joey and Ross to protect themselves, but